Presentation on the topic Defense to a Negligence Action, presented by Ankita, MCOM Final, MPM Government First Grade College, Karkala. Negligence. Simply, negligence means nothing else but carelessness. The term negligence is derived from the Latin word negligentia, which means failing to pick up. In legal term, negligence means failure to perform the basic of care which the performer as a responsible, reasonable man should perform have in all the situation. Negligence means failure to give enough care or attention to someone or something that you are responsible for. In negligence, there will be a three common negligence defenses are there. They are contributory negligence, comparative negligence, assumption of risk. In the first defense, contributory negligence. When an injury occurs, both the defendant and the plaintiff can be at a fault. Contributory negligence is the failure of a plaintiff himself to take reasonable care of his own safety. It means when a plaintiff himself contributes to the negligent act of defendant, then he is liable of contributory negligence. For example, in a car accident between car A and car B, car A's driver was speeding and car B's driver was driving drunk. Both drivers are engaged in negligent risk creating behavior. The negligence on the part of the injured plaintiff is called contributory negligence. Second defense, comparative negligence. Today, only a few states still use the traditional harsh form of contributory negligence. Most states have abandoned it and adopted a fairer approach known as comparative negligence. Under comparative negligence, recovery is apportioned based on both parties' degrees of fault. Comparative negligence allows a negligent plaintiff to recover some damages for their injuries. Comparative negligence prevents the defendant from being completely relieved of responsibilities simply because the plaintiff also failed to exercise due care. In a comparative negligence, it states that when an accident occurs, the fault or negligence of each party involved is based upon their respective contribution to the accident. There are two often used forms of comparative negligence throughout the United States. Some states use pure comparative negligence, other states use what is known as partially comparative negligence. In a comparative negligence, there will be a two form of negligence are using throughout the United States. Some states are using pure comparative negligence and some states are using partial comparative negligence. Pure comparative negligence allows the plaintiff to recover damages based on the percentage of fault. The judge or jury reviews all the evidence and assigns a percentage of responsibility to each party. In a pure comparative negligence, plaintiff can recover damages based on the percentage of the fault. For example, if a plaintiff is 40% at fault for the accident and the defendant is 60% at fault, the plaintiff can still recover 60% from the defendant. Under the contributory negligence, this plaintiff would have been barred from recovery. Pure comparative negligence applies even if the plaintiff is the primary cause of her own injuries. For example, if a plaintiff is 95% at fault and the defendant is only 5% at fault, the plaintiff can still recover 5% from the defendant. In the second type of comparative negligence is partially comparative negligence. Under partial comparative negligence, a plaintiff's recovers is reduced by their percentage of fault only. In a partial comparative negligence, the plaintiff recovery is reduced by their percentage of fault. For example, if a plaintiff is 60% at fault for the accident and the defendant is 40% at fault, the plaintiff would recover nothing under partial comparative negligence. However, if the court found the plaintiff only 40% responsible, then that plaintiff could recover 60% of his damage from the defendant. Third defense of negligence is assumption of risk. Assumption of risk is the third primary negligence defense. A plaintiff is said to assume the risk of injury if he voluntarily enters a dangerous situation, fully aware of the risk involved. The principle behind this defense is that a plaintiff who voluntarily consents to an activity cannot later sue if injured. Voluntary means the person assuming the risk had a choice to avoid it. If the person had no choice to avoid the dangerous activity, then he cannot have assumed the risk. The word says assumption of risk. Here the person or the plaintiff will assume the risk of injury. In an assumption of risk, where a person knows of the risk of an activity, that person accepts the risk when voluntarily engaging in the pursuit. Therefore, he cannot sue for injuries that may occur. For example, in a 2007 personal injury lawsuits brought by a student against a community college, a 40 years old student successfully sued the school for injuries she suffered in a backpacking class. The class was mandatory as part of the college's physical education requirement. The court held that because she was new to backpacking, she was in the position of the following direction of the gym instructor, her superior, and thus did not assume the risk voluntarily. Thank you.